Hello. Hello, this is the My Artifact episode number 3900 and 916, 17 maybe 2900 and 3916. Yeah. Today's date is 2nd of March. Yeah, 2nd of March 2026. It's been almost like a morning at uh, 10:18 10:18 p.m. am. Sorry, am. Sorry about the fumble and things like that. I'm pretty much like a, am I audible? Like I am like, am I talking really well? But problem is that there is a lot of wind is actually happening over here, so that's why I'm not really sure. But probably it's not really that windy, but you might hearing me very much properly. It's not really that. By the way, I am look like, yeah, I have to be cut my hair. Okay, it's a lot of beard right now. All right, yeah. So should we ask question? All right, let's just ask question. Okay, so question is, what practical step can I take to save or invest money consistently? Okay, that's a really good question. Okay, first of all, what is at least this question and why am I asking this question to myself? This is like a couple of week ago, I read a book, Psychology of Money. Really good book. Highly recommend to you to read that book. I realized that ki, like if I read the book, it is really essential for me to implement the value. So how do I supposed to implement the value? I have to be asked question honestly and give the honest answer. So I went to ChatGPT, said this thing, I read this book, I wanted to implement the value, suggest me at least 20 questions, and this is one of those questions. By the way, question is actually written on the mobile phone, but obviously it's a recording. How do I supposed to just do the mess thing? So that's why I wrote the question in here. Okay, yeah. By the way, this book is also really good too. It's Atomic Habit. I'm reading it right now, and it's really good. Alright, yeah. Now regarding about the question says that ki, what practical step that I do to save money or invest money more. Practical step. Um, am I investing money? Well, I have invested in gold. Okay, yeah. Um, 10 rupees per day. Okay, it's not really that much, but like it's kind of like a thing that na ki, like you are actually investing, like I'm actually kind of like investing 10 rupees per day. Okay, so every time it's auto deduct from my account 10 rupees, and it automatically invest on gold. How do I do that? Well, there is a, like it's not really that like a crazy rocket science. I'm from India, and we have phone pay application, which is kind of like a simply let me do this thing to kind of like a invest money. Yeah, you can invest more. Like basically is this thing that key like 100 rupees or that and that, but it started from 10 rupees too. Okay, yeah. But investing money on gold, I don't really think that's the investment. Why? Because is this thing na ki, I don't really consider is the investment. Why? Because right now I'm not earning any money. Okay, yeah. And sometime I realize that ki, I don't really have any money to spend, so I am started saving money. Okay, so when the some certain situation happened that I don't really have money, so I would withdraw that whatever the money that I invested on gold and utilize that money. Okay, for kind of like a simply backup and things like that. But why I do this thing? First of all, I'm not really earning any money, and sometime I realize that ki, like let's just say I went to petrol pump and I fuel the bill, I fuel the gas, then I have to give the money, but I don't really have money. Okay, we have UPI, by the way. UPI, it's a phone, so online payment. Okay, yeah. So if I don't really have money, then how do I supposed to do this thing? How do I supposed to, yeah. So basically I withdraw money from my money that I invested on gold. Okay, yeah, and kind of like a give them back. It actually happened very instantly, so I don't really worry about kind of like a withdrawal much more further, nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. And why I'm kind of like why I'm not saying this thing as an investment is because of that ki I am investing very less. 10 rupees per day, like probably like a 300 rupees per month, which is very less as compared to the minimum investment start from 500 rupees, and I'm investing almost like a 300 rupees per month. So obviously it doesn't really make sense, and obviously I will not gonna get that much higher return because I'm actually investing very less amount of money. Okay, yeah. So that's why I'm not really kind of like expecting kind of like an investment, but still I'm kind of like a gaining profit almost like a 200 300 rupees. Okay, yeah. After I invested almost like I'm kind of like a doing this thing for almost like a 6 8 months. I'm gonna tell you, but still there is a recording things, but probably almost like a 2 3 thousand rupees I invested, and I am getting returns for almost like a 300 400 rupees return. Okay, yeah, like almost like a 300 rupees 300. Sorry about my dog, it's barking a lot. It's gone. All right, yeah. So basically is this thing that he uh, huh, why do I think it's not really investment is because of that he it's a very less amount of money. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is the one thing. Okay, but is that I don't really kind of like a withdrawal. Okay, yeah, like a when like a this situation like a I don't really have money kind of like a situation happen very less. Okay, yeah, like a once in a month or things like that. So in that particular situation I might use this money, but rest of the time it's not. Okay, yeah. So that's why, but still I'm not really earning any money, and 10 rupees of investment in gold, which is kind of like a good enough. Okay, yeah. Also, I do have a SIP. Okay, yeah, 1,000 rupees of SIP per month, and which is also going really well. Okay, yeah. I also getting a lot of returns too, but obviously it's a lock SIP. Lock SIP means like that ki I can't withdraw for 5 year. Okay, yeah, like basically 5 year mature time, and basically is automatically deduct money from my account, 1,000 rupees, and basically I cannot able to be withdrawal for 5 year, and after the 5 year I will get the returns. Like basically after the 5 year my principal amount is almost like a 60,000 rupees. Okay, yeah, like 60 months 60,000 rupees in 5 year. So probably I will get returns probably almost like a 80 to 90,000. Yeah, which is kind of like a somewhat something. Okay, okay, yeah, because I'm not actually investing that much amount of money, so which is really good. Okay, yeah, so these are kind of like a two investment that I'm doing right now. The question is that if I'm not earning any money, then how do I supposed to invest money, where that money came from? That's really good question. Okay, yeah. um, I like basically it's this thing that yes, I am not really earning any money, but I kind of like somebody is this thing that I realize that if I'm not started investment as early in my life as possible, then I like it's not really good. Okay, yeah. And it's not really that I'm not really earning money, so I don't really have money. I have money. Okay, yeah. Like sometimes like basically this thing, I often take money from from my father, and it's a very shameful because I'm 32, I'm still living with his and still taking his money, living in pocket money probably. Feel really shameful, but I think that that is the only one thing that I am doing right now. Basically it's this thing that yeah, like my father give me money or I ask money to my father, they give me, but it felt like really shameful and things like that. But still I get little bit of money from my father, and whatever the money that I get I invest little bit. Okay, yeah, so that I would at least like a secure and things like that. By the way, I kind of like somebody and publish my book in Amazon Kindle, and within a couple of days I might get payment. Okay, like almost like a 6,000 rupees of revenue that I earn from Amazon KPD, and which is also really good. Okay, so I will gonna invest that amount of money in maybe gold or maybe SIP or maybe I don't know, but I will gonna invest. Okay, yeah, there is also another thing that I am doing investment. Okay, yeah. So me and all my friends are actually kind of like assembly gather to collect all the money. Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing, my me in my group. Okay, yeah, we decided that ki once in a year we have to be kind of like a go somewhere trip or something like that. And usually in that particular period of time we don't really have money. Okay, so let's just say that ki like we decided that this year means 2026 we have to go to the Goa in November. Okay, yeah, November or September, I'm not really sure, but we have to decide that we have to go to Goa. So we are started investing money. Okay, yeah, every single month we actually invested almost like a 500 rupees. Everyone actually invested almost like a 500 rupees, like a connect will collected, and that one person will kind of like invest that money on something. Okay, so when we need it we will kind of like utilize that money for our trips or for our kind of like things and that. And it's a very important thing. I think that this is a very essential thing, because it's not an investment, it's not a thing that ki, I should suppose to utilize that money. No, that money is only and only purpose for kind of like a happiness. Okay, because I think that ki happiness is one of the really essential thing. Like basically you can invest money but you cannot invest money on happiness. Okay, yeah, and this is the money that I'm investing. Like all my friends are actually gather and kind of like started investing 500 rupees per month on something. That investment is for the happiness, not for the money. Okay, yeah. And I think that that's a really good thing, because basically like what is actually happened, like basically is this thing now ki if I am investing money 500 rupees on this kind of like a trips and things like that and that. So basically I am very much assured, I'm very much assured that ki once in a year we are actually going to the trip and things like that, so that I would not gonna feel miserable alone and things and that, which is really good. And basically this is like it's a really good, like I don't know, but I highly recommend to you to do this thing. If you wanted to invest, if you wanted to invest as a group. Okay, yeah, like if you have bunch of people, friends and things like that, so started investing as a kind of like as a for fun, not as an investment point of perspective. Okay, because if you kind of like a think as investment point of perspective, then probably it's might get very different. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, so how do I supposed to start this thing? So one of my friend who actually pitched the idea that we should supposed to be start investing together, everyone. Okay, in our group we have almost like a 19 people. Okay, yeah, almost 19 people, that's a too much. So basically 19-18 people. Okay, so let's just say 500 rupees into 19, that means let's just say 20 per 20 people. So almost like a 20,000 rupees per month probably. Okay, yeah, 20,000. uh, no, not 20,000. 1,000. Sorry, 10,000 rupees per month. Okay, yeah. So it's a really very high money, 10,000 money per month. If we invested on something, obviously it will gonna give return at the end of the year, and that money, whatever the investment that we did, will kind of like a really helpful for kind of like a going to the such a trip, like a Goa or maybe somewhere like a international trip or things like that. Okay, yeah. And in that trip I will definitely gonna enjoy, because I already invested money. Okay, yeah, as well as everyone actually invested money, so they cannot able to be denied that they will not gonna come. Like basically what is actually happened now, when you're trying to do a plan a trip, most of the people are kind of like a say yeah I will gonna come and things like that. But when the time came, everyone ditched that. Okay, yeah. Why? Because there is a lot of issues and things like that. But when you are kind of like investing money for just for trips or just for kind of like a fun and things like that, then no one will gonna ditch. Why? Because if they ditch the trip, their money will gonna loss. Basically throughout the entire year they kind of invested some amount of money. It doesn't really work them at all. Okay, yeah. So it is really essential for them to kind of simply go into the trip. So basically try to understand, when almost like a 20 people are came together for celebrating a kind of like a trip. Oh my god, literally just like the things that we should supposed to enjoy is too much. Okay, because having more people we enjoy more. Okay, basically is this thing now I realize that ki, ki we didn't really enjoy the places. Okay, we enjoy the people. Basically is this thing na ki I don't know, my happiness is actually come from the people, not from the places. If I went to Paris, I might not feel amusement that much, or maybe something. Okay, yeah, it's a Paris, it's a really good, it's a things and that. but still I wanted to experience that moment with my friend. Okay, yeah. And if I do this thing, I feel like really good, and I am very much privileged that I have friend. Literally, I'm saying this thing as a kind of like somebody is saying that ki I am privileged. Like I seen lot of people who doesn't really have friend. Yeah, literally doesn't really have friend. Like if you are think that ki you have a friend, then problem is that ki you might not have it, or maybe you have it till the end of the college or till the end of the school or things like that, and then after that it's gone. Because it actually happened with me. All my school friend are gone, all my college friend are gone, all my kind of like somebody office colleague are gone, things like that. No one care at all. Like if you are kind of like somebody still there with them, okay, that's it, that's fine. But after you left that surrounding, doesn't really care at all. Might be some people are connect, but no. But in our case, in our group, all the people who are completely different, we are not come from same class, we are not come from different kind of like a college, everyone are kind of like a very much scattered. What's common in between us is because of that ki we are living together very close by. Like basically all my friends who are kind of like a somebody very close by, like a Vaibhav is right here. Right here means like basically all my friends who are here is kind of like a close proximity. So basically, and we are kind of like a somebody spend time together when we are teenager and things and that and that. Okay, yeah, we became friends since 2011, and it's 2026. It's been almost like a 16 year. We will still friends. 16 year, literally, and we spend so much amount of time. And like basically when we see the photos back, I feel like that boy. Okay, yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like say this thing. I am very much privileged that I have friend. Okay, yeah. Because most of the people don't. If you listening this thing, you might not have this thing. Okay, yeah. So make friend, and make friend for longer period of time. Longer period of time. Okay, yeah. Like like there is a quote that ki if your friendship lasts longer for at least 6 years, that your friendship will kind of last longer for rest of the lifetime. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna kind of like give you a kind of like a couple of rules to how do you supposed to get make friends. Okay, yeah. First of all is that ki do not add like a make a group. Like if I'm say I have this friend, so how many friends? Just one friend. If you have just one friend, that friendship might not gonna last longer. Why? Because it's only one person. The attachment in between you and him is a like only single. But when you have two, then your attachment will be two. Like your attachment will be kind of like a much more stronger. If you have three people, attachment will be three. Like between you and that is kind of like a like having more attachment, having more connected. So having more people, having more attachment. So make sure that ki when you have friends, have a more friends or maybe part of the group. Okay, yeah. And that group will kind of like a last longer. Instead of one person cannot able to last long friendship, but having a group or part of the group will kind of like a last longer. Okay, yeah. Because let me tell you one thing now, we might not have an interest with a one person, or maybe we have it but it will not gonna last longer because it's not. Okay, yeah. But having a group, then it's kind of like a things like it always bigger. Like basically this thing, you might not enjoy with one person, but you definitely gonna enjoy with a bunch of group of people, and that is a fact. Okay, so like basically this thing now, if you wanted to be a friend or have a friend, then make more friend or add multiple people in a group. Okay, but do not kind of like a force it. It takes time. It takes time. Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing na ki in 2011, okay, so basically what exactly happened that ki uh, Vishal is one of my friend who is actually I know him in the school. Okay, yeah. In the tuition classes. Okay, yeah. So I know Vishal, but Vishal knows Vaibhav, Pintu, and Sushil. Okay, yeah. Then Badal and Prashik, those people I know it, but they are kind of like from the middle school, and I never in touch with them. So I just only knew this particular person, Vishal. Okay, yeah. And Vishal invited me to the New Year party at 31st of December 2010. We went to the New Year party, and first time I introduced these people, Vaibhav, Pintu, Sushil. Okay, yeah. Badal I already knew it, and the Prashik I already knew it. Okay, so I became like a little bit kind of like a somebody like a, I became friend. We kind of like we enjoy the kind of like a New Year party, really good, really great. And then after that we started hang out with each other. Okay, yeah, like there go there like this and that and that and that and that. Okay, yeah. Then after that we have kind of like almost like a seven people. Okay, yeah. At that time I was not really that much very strong bond. Okay, like most of the time those are five people are always there. uh, Prashik is also actually kind of like a went to the another city for kind of like for the pursue engineering, and I was also like I was kind of like a on again off again, like basically I was not really that much connected. Okay, yeah. But soon I was kind of like a connected to the Vishal, because Vishal is one of my close friends, so that's why I was kind of like a somebody always tag along. Okay, yeah. And then after that, I kind of like spent time with those people, and it felt really good. Okay, then after that, our group is actually expand. Okay, Rahul came, then Vicky Bhau came, then Pravesh came. Okay, yeah. And each became kind of like a stronger part, and that stronger part also became even more stronger when their fiance, their girlfriend are actually involved and things like that. So that's why our group is kind of like a much more bigger right now, like a very big group. Okay, yeah. So I feel like that I'm very much privileged. Okay, yeah. I don't know, this question is actually about a kind of like investment, and I'm talking about the friendship, but I think that na ki friendship is also investment too. like like I don't know how do I supposed to explain. Okay, if you are 20s, okay, yeah, I highly recommend to you to make friend, because let me tell you one thing, from my point of perspective, maybe I'm completely wrong, but what I realize that ki making friend is very much essential. Like I don't know, my entire happiness, like if I'm say whatever the happiness that I experienced throughout my entire period of lifetime, 90% of my happiness is actually come from my friend. Yeah, obviously it come from my family too, but those are very less. Okay, yeah. But most of the happiness actually come from the my friend. Okay, yeah. And if you are in 20s, make friend, make legit friend, like that is very much essential. Okay, yeah. um, I'm not really sure how you're supposed to do this thing. Okay, yeah, but make friend and make more friend and make a group. Okay, like basically is this thing na ki like you have two people. Okay, yeah, add another people, go somewhere else, plan something. Like let's just say monsoon happened, go somewhere else, like a go bike trip. Okay, yeah, doesn't really make sense at all, but go there, take a selfie, take a photo, like whatever it is. Okay, yeah. At the beginning it kind of like a feel little awkward, why do I plan this thing and things and that, but throughout the time it felt really good. Okay, yeah, sometime you spend time with your friend for doing nonsense stuff that add a value in the long run. Okay, yeah. Let's just say like a college is actually end. Okay, yeah. And there is nothing really happened, like what is actually happened na, like let's just say you have a friend of college. Okay, so basically what is actually attachment that you have with your friend, like let's just say I am the one person, another person who is actually connected by the college. Okay, yeah. So what is actually the connection in between us, college, but when the college over, that friendship is also over too. I also experience. Okay, yeah. So what should you supposed to do when you do this small activity, like going somewhere else, going to trekking, going to the kind of like assembly, like eat vada pav or things like that, or take a selfie, take photo, like literally take photo. That's a very much essential. Take selfie, hundreds of selfie. Okay, yeah. And kind of like a things, and that obviously you will get fight. Okay, that's very much common, you will get fight and things and that, but make fun of it. Okay, like it's very essential to hold this thing. Okay, yeah. Problem happened, it's not really that ki friendship doesn't really have like a, like we have a friendship for 16 year, and we've been fight all the time, literally all the time. Like when we play cricket, when we play, like basically is this thing na, when someone called me and he said bel laudia, like this is the first word he says, this thing bel laudia kha karu nala, like dude, what the fuck is that? My phone is on speaker. But this is what it is, like you have to be fight too, but make friend, dude, make friend, literally make friend. Okay, and expect happiness, don't expect something. Something means what, like a relationship, or kind of like a something, the like opportunity. Don't expect that. If you are expecting that, then that's not good thing, dude. Expect happiness. Happiness come from spending time, not a, like yeah, it's not. Okay, yeah. If you are expecting love, like basically like this is a particular girl that I like in my friends group, so should I do this, should I not, don't do that, because it spoil the friendship. Okay, yeah. uh, I'm not really sure, I am not really experienced that thing, so I'm not really kind of like a right person to give the advice. But whoever in your group, expect happiness, do not expect anything at all. Love or things maybe, like maybe something different, I don't know, yeah, probably. But I'm not kind of like, I don't know, it's just like, because what exactly happened now, ki, let's just say you have a 5 people of group, okay, and there is a girl, you like the girl, like I let's just say this is the girl and I like the girl. Now if I approach that girl and she says no, then that group will collapse, that group will collapse, because it just like, yeah, it kind of like a feel like that ki, things like that. So even if you were kind of like say, okay, we've been friends and things like that, but after something say this thing that I don't love or maybe I don't like or things and that, then probably just, I don't know, it's just my experience. But I'm not really kind of like a suggest you that, it kind of like a depends on you, your surrounding situation, and how you're supposed to execute that thing. Okay, yeah. uh, I recommend to you to have a same gender friend. Okay, yeah. If you wanted to add another gender friend, uh, you can add, but there is a kind of like a somebody, it invite a complication too sometimes. I'm not really sure. Like I'm not kind of like a giving the discrimination over things, but what I realize that, I don't know. I shouldn't supposed to give you any kind of like a somebody suggestion regarding about that. It's not really kind of like a right for me. But make friends, legitly make friends. And I think that na ki one of the biggest investment that I think is that ki, yeah, money, like basically is this thing in this world, everyone actually earning money. Some people earn more, some people are earn less. But friendship is a kind of like a things that kind of like a give you purpose, give you source of happiness, and I think that's the most important thing. That money is kind of like a made for us to live the life, but happiness is a kind of like a things that we need. And I think that thing is actually came from the people, probably. All right, so this is my kind of like a somebody tiny investment that I'm doing. Okay, yeah, I know it's kind of like a somebody, my answer would be completely off topic, but sometime it is important, probably. I don't know, this is it, this is the end. Thank you.